お前たちはその温泉に入ってこなかったのか。
入らなかったんじゃねえ。入らせてもらえなかったんだよ。
So here's the deal. I want to do something different today for this episode of Forza Horizon 3. While I am drift building this Nissan, because Nissan Datsun 510 Bluebird, everybody knows what this car is, right? Pretty much the aftermarket, run-of-the-mills, ultimate drifter slash engine swapper slash super tuned freak. I would say freak, but it's pretty much the ultimate aftermarket super tuned drifter. I basically put in like a Skyline GTR engine in it, give it about 750 horsepower, so now it drifts around like a total nutcase, and it just goes around like that. That's pretty much, I think it's the same engine I put in my AE86. I thought it was a 2JZ. I gave this the straight 6 twin turbo, made it a drifter, gave it like a chem block, gave it a Gymkhana chem block livery, and gave it 1552 rims, and it just looks so cool. I want to keep it like that. I'm gonna keep it like that. I like that white body kit though, but that Forza Horizon design for this car, it looks very, very good. Keep on it, keep on. So what I want to do differently for this episode of Forza Horizon 3 is talk about anime. Now, those of you who are still coming from the summer season of anime might want to keep up, but I don't blame you, because the summer season of anime, in my opinion, was pretty much the most powerful season of anime ever. You combine Re:Zero with Mob Psycho 100, with Taboo Tattoo, with Orange, with Danganronpa 3. Danganronpa 3 had me every week with what's going to happen next in the future arc, and I know the ending was a bit bittersweet, but in between those, it was like, who's gonna die next? And then Re:Zero was, oh my goodness. I know that was pretty much the top of everyone's list, including mine. Rem is best girl, by the way. Let me just put that out for you now. Summer season just had me just tugged on my heartstring every single week. So far, this season of anime hasn't yet, because I don't know, summer season sort of set the bar with Re:Zero and Danganronpa 3 and other Re:Zero, Danganronpa 3 and other shows during the season. But this season hasn't that much, but I hope it does continually, because they still have pretty good ones. Drifters, Bungo Stray Dogs Season 2, obviously. If you've watched Season 1, go watch Season 1, watch Season 2. It's so far it's so good. They've done a prologue to before Dazai joined the armed detectives agency, and he was part of Port Mafia, and how and why defected from Port Mafia into the armed detective agency. And then we have Keijo, which we'll describe at a later date, and Cultic 9, which is so fast paced but so suspenseful that I'll keep watching for more. But yeah, today I will talk to you about this one anime that's also premiering this season, Bubuki Buranki Season 2, the Gentle Giants of the Galaxy. That's how it's called, Season 2. Those of you who haven't watched Season 1, who hasn't watched Season 2 yet, watch the show as a whole, let me briefly summarize what the show is about. So they have this kid named Azuma Kazuki. He lived with his family in Treasure Island. He falls to Earth. He is given the heart of a great mecha, and he bands with like this gang of misfits. We will address them as Team Oubu. It's Azuma, Kogane, Asubaki, Hiragi Nono, Kinoi Ogi, and Shizuru Taneyomi. They band together with the Bubuki and form the Great Buranki Oubu. I don't know if it's the most powerful. Well, it could be. Yeah, it's a powerful Buranki. Not the most powerful, but it's definitely a powerful Buranki. And this season, they've pretty much upped their skills of the great mecha by like tenfold. It's those of you who've been watching the first like 2 or 4 episodes know just how skilled these guys are in the battle. When they took on the Russians, when they took on Karuko's makeshift team, you know just how skilled they've gotten ever since they've banded together since first season. Continuing on the summary, Team Oubu is pretty much, they were like dead heat with Team Entei, which consists of Ryoko, Saku, Zetsubu, Soya, and Akihito. Pretty much they were overseers of Japan. Like when there was a conflict between like the humans and the Ubuki, and how people who were being slaughtered by the Bubuki or Boranki when they started falling to Earth, Ryoko took it upon herself to destroy the headless Boranki and try to retain peace. But it was a stifling between her and Migiwa, Azuma's mother. So that's how she came to like hate. I wouldn't say hate him, but hate her mother, most especially for locking her up and I don't know, doing whatever it is to her. If you watch that one prologue episode in season 1 of Bubuki Bronchi. But that's the gist of it. I won't spoil the ending. We have to watch it for yourself. But this new season, I wouldn't say Ryoko was still an antagonist because right now what we've seen now, what we've heard, if you've been watching the season 2, what we've seen now is that Ryoko herself has been captured by this guy named Gi of this certain federation. I forgot the name already. He's using her to like pretty much for his own nefarious scheme. Now we've seen, if you've been watching the season, now we know who the chief villain is. This guy named Gi, who's assembled this like team or wave or like network of heart users. So there's one team from the USA, there's one team from Russia, and we also have Kaoruko Kazuki, Azuma's sister, who's also a heart user. And now she has Ente. If you've been watching season 2, conflicts in the season. Obviously, the chief conflict is between the different teams of Bubuki heart users and this guy named Gi. Because obviously, when it comes right down to it, it's gonna be them versus him, or Team Oubu versus the teams controlled by him. Also, it's going to be between Azuma and his sister Kaoruko. Now, family lines aside, I think we've seen, if you're watching, I think you've seen where the family stands. Azuma was more on his mother's side, Migiwa. When he landed to Earth, he was given the heart of Oubu. Okay, and then we have Kaoruko, who was on her father's side, lived the majority of her life in Thailand, made friends, such and such forth, met Gi, and now is doing her utmost to like please him now. She has Ente, but as you can see, you know, my naive side, you know, I feel sorry for her because now she's being used by Gi for her own nefarious, but she has no idea what's going on. But I think her grudge between her brother pretty much sits on a higher plane than her trying to impress this one guy who wants to either take over the world, destroy the world, or have all the Buranki under his control, something like that. But that's the chief conflict here. Will it be resolved? Who knows? Obviously, I don't know. The stifling between the stifling relationship between them is gonna last for a while. I don't know if it'll actually end before episode 12. If it does, bittersweet ending like in Danganronpa 3. But I hope this conflict goes on for a while, because then we see some more character development. What surprised me more in this season was how Shusaku Matabe, the guy who Kogane hates with an unbridled passion, actually went out of his way to ask Team Oubu for help, because now we know that Team Ente aren't really the chief villains of this whole series. What we know now, I don't know if they'll actually double cross, but hopefully not. I don't think they will. They owe them a great debt, and they're only trying to implement their brand of justice so that they can save lives. So who knows, there could be inner corruption between here and there before we knew it. That was surprising to me. Now that we've seen that their softer side, now that they want to save lives or something like that, hopefully they all band together and actually save the world or something like that. That's my naive side talking, you know. Chief conflict 1, defeating Guy. Chief conflict 2, resolving the relationship between Azuma and Kazuki. Another thing that I actually took note in this story is the relationship between the Bubuki and the humans. Because if you watch this other episode where this new episode that came out last Saturday, where Team Oubu were in the ice with fell down the glacier and met this girl, and met this purple Oubu that fell from the earth, that had a mind of its own, that could speak in complete sentences. That Bubuki pretty much explained what it was doing here, how did it got there, and pretty much one of its main missions which is to pretty much study the relationships between the Bubuki and the humans and what it's observed over its time on Earth. So I think that's another thing that's important to note. The relationships between the humans and the Bubuki. Because as we see with how Team Oubu has progressed, you can see that the relationships between their Bubuki, they've pretty much grown fond, or they've gained a tight relationship with their Bubuki, that they've like know what each other is thinking. Their movements and their attacks are now in sync, so that's how they've become so attuned in battle. So that's something to think about. I will give Bubuki Buranki a watch if you haven't watched it yet. First watch season 1 to get at least everything, then watch season 2. There's new episodes of season 2 out every Saturday. Watch it on Crunchyroll. This is one anime I would definitely suggest. Animation wise, everything's in 3D, everything's 3D CGI. It's definitely improved since the last time. The jokes, they're funny. I don't know if they're actually useful, but I think they're funny. All in all, I definitely give this thing a watch. As I continue drifting my 510, I will talk to you more about anime in the coming videos. I will talk to you about this one anime I'm watching. No, not Keijo, because I don't want to do that yet. Flip Flappers, because that's pretty much Kill La Kill on LCD. It's so cool though. It is so cool. If you ever watched Flip Flappers yet, I recommend you watch it. I'll talk to you about that next time that I do one of these. Until then, rate, comment, subscribe, and I will see you next time.